don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing my May pages in my Rogues Gallery collage journal. So we've gone through February, March, the extra one, April, March and April with that one, and then it's time for May. So, but a little bit different this time. I thought that I would use up some of my Tim Holtz papers. So these are from the collage 8x8 paper pad. So these are the ones with the double sides, but these are the sides that I'm going to be using on this pad today. So I'm going to be using that side rather than the stamps, because I kind of like that pattern. That looks a little bit like fabric, but you'll see why in a sec. And then we've got that kind of travel ticket kind of ephemera sheet, and then the actual tickets from that set as well. So me likey. So I've also got a little set of washi tapes from my little collection of washi tapes. So I've just pulled out some of the colours that I want to kind of use. I'm not going to use any other bits of ephemera today. I'm just going to use washi tape and the background papers with my two focal rogues for my Rogues Gallery. Now, I've had these couple of images in my collection of the Rogues for a while, but I thought it was time to use them both. So I'm going to do a double page spread again, and these are the two Dapper gents, or Dapper dudes, which is what I'm going to be putting on this page that I'm going to be doing for these. Now it's, well, for me anyway, it's not that usual to come across a fantastic Victorian gent from any kind of other ethnic background than so that one stood out like a sore thumb for me. And then I've got this fantastic one. Now this is from more kind of like the 20s and 30s, pushing the 40s I think, but I think they both go really well. So dudes in hats. So those are the ones that we're going to be using today for these two pages. So to start off with them, I'm going to do the background. What we're going to be using is this one. So I need to cut these down using my trimmer. So I'll just pop that to one side and bring in my paper trimmer. I'm using my Stampin' Up paper trimmer just because it's easy. And I'm just going to cut this straight down the middle because it's 8 inches. So I'm going to do it at 4 inches or thereabouts anyway. So we'll do that at 100 or around about 4 inches. Go straight down, and then I'm going to cut it at about 6. Yeah, about 6 inches is going to be perfect. So that's going to be the main background. Now obviously because I've got two, I'm going to do that twice. So we'll cut that one at 6 as well. And then we can keep those bits for our little bits of ephemera if we want for a later date. So put those to one side then. So those are going to be my main. Let's just turn that the right way around, make sure I get it the right way up. Those are going to be for the background. So if I just bring my Rogues Gallery journal back in again, so they're going to sit just nicely on that page there. They've all got white backgrounds all the way around them, so that's just the right size for them. I always like to create the pages and then stick them down onto the page, onto the journal, or in the journal, once I've got the clusters done. So the first piece of backing, so again I'm going to use the same sheet for both, because I want them both to kind of be mirrored. Let's just move that washi tape to one side. So I'm going to cut the first one at 4 3/4 or about 12 centimetres. and then I'm going to cut it at 130 or 5 1/8, 13 centimetres or 5 1/8, and then I'm going to flip that round and cut it in half again. So around about 2 3/8 or 6 centimetres or 60 millimetres. So we've got 2 strips, and then I'm going to do the same thing again using that pattern. So first of all, cut it at, no, we're going that way first, aren't we? So 12, and then 13, and then cut the 12 in half. There we go. So that's going to give me those 2 strips, and all the other pieces I can put to one side for later. So we've got those, and then we've got those. So those are going to go onto there like that. And since we're going to do a mirror, I'm going to do that one like that and like that. Perfect. Okay, so before we go any further then, I obviously want to grunge and distress these up to within an inch of their lives. So let's get some vintage photo, and then I'll just go around the edge. So this is a brand new vintage photo ink pad, so it's extremely juicy. So it's given us that real kind of nice dark edge. And I'm going to take it quite far in. There we go. So that's that one. And then we'll do the same on this side. Paying particular attention to those corners. Because this is kind of a coated paper, it gives you a chance to just blend it slightly before it dries. So if you've got any lines where you've caught your foam, it just gives you a little bit of time before it dries, just for you to be able to blend it in nicely. There we go. So that's those done, and then we just need to do these. So because I'm going to be doing the same thing again and again, so about 4 times, I'll go ahead and do that with these pieces, and then I'll join with you once I've done all 4. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the corners done. So that's those pieces there. So again, I'm going to do the same thing just with the edges of my dudes, and you can see just how juicy this is. I might just switch over actually to no, let's go back to that one. I've started now, so I may as well finish. That's it. So these are being printed out on my printer paper, not on any of Tim's paper, so I just want to be a bit extra careful. Just create a border, a dark border all the way around. And do the same on this one. I love this image. I'd love to know his story. God, that really is a juicy ink pad, isn't it? It's really soaking into that paper. Let's see if I can just blend that out a little bit. No, it's going to go, it's stained, it's dark. There's nothing we can do about that. Okay. And that one's going to go there like that. Okay, so before we stick our characters in, start layering the cluster up. So first of all, I'm going to use spirit glue. So I'm using this Yoo-hoo because it won't buckle. Okay, so start in the top left like so, and then we'll take a ticket piece, what I like about these pages is they're not overly complicated. I mean, you can make them as complicated as you want, really, with as many, you know, cluster pieces as you want to, or you can make them really simple just by using the right choice of papers. See, with these being fairly busy papers, you don't really need a lot of extra ephemera to do your cluster. So if you're just starting out doing these kind of journal pages, these kind of collage papers, or these kind of projects, then these papers are really, really good for that, because as they say, you get a lot of bang for your buck. Just trying to even out, make sure they're pretty much as even as they can be. Make sure you kind of get them level, evenly spaced. And the most difficult thing about doing one of these pages is A, picking the papers, and B, is making sure you get the right dimensions or the right sizes that you want to use. But again, you know, that really depends on your own personal preference as to what size papers you want to do. You could have torn them rather than cut them, but I wanted a bit of a neater page today because I think they work really, really well rather than having torn pieces. Okay, so those are the background. So I want to introduce a little bit of washi tape. I'm just going to tear that off and then decide where he's going to go. So he's going to go about there. So I'm going to put some washi tape just kind of on that corner. Try and get it even and level or straight, which isn't always easy. About there. Just add a little bit of visual interest into it as well without being too overcomplicated. So we've got those in the corners. I also want to add a little bit of a pop of colour, just somewhere if I can find the end. So I'm going to use this, there it is, this Ticket washi tape. I think this is a Timmy, I could be wrong, but I think it is, because on the previous pages that I've done, I've used greens and blues and yellows and that kind of thing. So for a change, I want to use a pop of orange. So I'm going to put that there. I'm not going to stick it down totally. I'll just put that to one side because I want to also add some of that washi tape to this side as well. Okay, so he's going to sit about there. So again, let's put some on there. And then put another piece down this side here. Just make them slightly different, and then we can use that Ticket again. And this time I'm going to put it up there. But I'm not pushing it down because I might want to move it. Okay, so now's the time to stick our dudes down. But I'm going to leave the edges. So if I do want to tuck anything under, I can do it after I've stuck it down. One drawback of that glue, you always get strings. Okay. Dapper dude number 1. Right. Is he as straight as I can get him? Yeah, probably. There we go. That's more like it. And then Dapper dude number 2. Again, see if I can get it. I'll make sure that I stick the photo down as straight as I can. They don't have to be in exactly the same position in the middle of the page. They can go down now. But that washi tape just adds just a little bit, I think. And then I'm going to add just one more piece of washi tape. This is a thinner piece. And this has just got numbers and things on it. So again, add that just as a little cut in. Do the same at this side. I think I'll do that going up that way. And then one more piece about there. So that cuts across all three of those pieces that we've added on earlier. Okay, so what I normally do is I put the month on a little number tab. February, that was an additional one, but August 1944 was when that photograph of my granddad was taken, so that one is March 21, so you can see. So I've done the same thing for these two, but I've printed those out, and again, like I said, I wanted to do a pop of orange on those. So I've just printed out the May one, so they're going to be 05, and there's a B and an A, so you've got an A and a B side. But the smarter of the two gents gets to be A. Okay, so we've got a 5A and a 5B, so let's just grab that's it. I'll just go around the edges just to get rid of those raw whites, and again we'll take a little bit of the glue. You have to be really careful now not to get it all over the place, so just a real small amount. Okay, so I think because we've got that orange there, I think I'm going to do it cutting in across there like that. So that's our Dapper Dude A, number 5A, and then we'll have our B. Add a little bit of glue on the back of that one. Not too much. Bump, 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 bump. It stuck to my finger already, look. Really quick. And then we'll do that, so it's coming in from the side there. Okay, so, and then we'll add in our little words, which I don't always include, but I wanted two of these two because I kind of like the little slogan that I use, the Dapper Dudes, because they are very, not everybody can pull a hat off like that. So on the first one we'll have that cutting across the corner. Like I said, not overly complicated, but they look really good when the clusters are all laid down. There we go. And again, just a tiny bit of glue. I really ought to find a glue with a real fine point applicator on it. It would make it a lot easier. And then I'm going to drop that one down. There. Dapper Dudes. So I'm going to give that just a second or two to grab and dry. And also just go around making sure there's no glue leaking out anywhere. and then I'll be back and we'll be ready to stick them into the journal. Okay, so they've had a few minutes to dry now, and look, no wrinkling at all of that card. That's the beauty of that glue. Okay, so let's bring in the journal and open up those 2 pages, and then we can stick our chappies in. So I'll just flip that over, and then blobs of glue. So that's our first. Okay, so this journal is starting to bow a little bit, so I'm probably going to have to just keep my fingers on it until it grabs. So that's the first one. So I shall just hold that for a second or two, and then I'll join with you again once it's stuck down and bound. Okay, I think that's grabbed now. Then we can do the same for this side. Okay, let's flip that over and then just line those 2 up. There we go. Fantastic. There, look, an absolute fantastic pair. So there's a little bit of bowing on the page there because it is actually there is actually a kink on the page. But once it's stuck, it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Now, as with previous ones, I like to add just one little metal embellishment. So we've got a couple of corners on that one, and there's a clip on that one up there as well. And I want to do the same thing for this page. So what I've done is, because you've got your Admit 1, they're obviously dressed for a night out on the town. So a nice little clock symbol or clock charm will work perfectly, I think, for these 2. So all we need then is just a little, let's have a look, where we're going to put it. Yeah, we'll put him there. So lift that one up, and we're going to put the other one, I think, just up there. So one little bob of glue, make sure we don't get any strings, and then I'm going to place these down. I think we'll add that one onto there, and just let that sit, and this one, with it being flatter nearer to the crease, will just sit there. Brilliant stuff. Love it. And there you have it. There's my double page spread in my Rose Gallery journal for the month of May. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put those 2 collage pages together. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.